In this video, I'm sharing the ultimate guide to restaurant marketing with 18 strategies that will help you drive more customers from Instagram, Facebook, email, text, and direct mail. First, let's break down 3 Instagram growth tactics that not only boost likes, but more importantly, drive sales for your restaurant. Let me tell you a secret. The way restaurant owners have been told to use Instagram is a scam. Because a lot of the Instagram consultants trying to help your restaurant get views on Reels, or telling you to post every day for the sake of consistency, or telling you to boost posts are just wasting your time and money and trying to sell you something. The numbers that I've seen across thousands of restaurants prove that, which we'll get into later. Which is why in this video, I'll be sharing the 3 Instagram growth strategies that'll actually drive sales for your restaurant, starting with number 1, the best paid strategy, retargeting, which always is the best way to increase sales on Instagram. Yes, retargeting sounds like a big fancy word, but it's exactly what it sounds like. Targeting a certain customer with an Instagram ad to try and convince them to spend money at your restaurant, but only doing it after they've almost placed an order. That's why it's retargeting. To make this easier to understand, let's imagine a customer named Sally. It's 8 p.m. on Tuesday night, and Sally hasn't had dinner yet. She's hungry for some great, comforting Italian food. That's exactly what you sell at your restaurant. Sally starts scrolling on her phone, she does a Google search, and she finds your website. She clicks into your online ordering. It's great so far. She starts placing an order. She adds the chicken Alfredo into her cart, and she's about ready to type in her cart details when her boyfriend comes in the door and says, "Sally, I brought Chinese takeout home," and ruins everything. But it doesn't have to be ruined, because imagine you have a fixed marketing budget every month. Would you rather spend that money trying to convince an entirely new customer, or what if you could just gently remind Sally that that chicken Alfredo dish still exists and you could have it on Wednesday instead? With retargeting, you can. All you do is you put a Facebook pixel on your online ordering site. The pixel is a product by Facebook which collects info on every website visitor on your website. And then it figures out their Instagram and Facebook accounts. Then it lets you target them with ads. So the magic of retargeting versus doing boosted posts or other Facebook ads is that it's much cheaper, and it helps you stay top of mind with people that are the most likely to order. Because the people we're retargeting are the people who already know your restaurant. They've already visited your website. They've already, in some cases like Sally, started placing their order, and then for whatever reason, they didn't make it through the checkout process. You're probably wondering, are there really a lot of these people? Surprisingly, yes. I didn't think so either until I saw the numbers behind restaurants' online ordering systems. But here are the facts. The very best online ordering systems only convert 20 out of every 100 people who visit an online ordering system into an online order. That means that the other 80 out of 100 spend some time on the online ordering system, are interested in ordering food from you, but in many cases get distracted or change their mind. Not because they suddenly hate the restaurant they almost ordered from, but because life gets in the way, like Sally's boyfriend bringing home Chinese takeout. Our other example customer, Marco, who is being interrupted by a phone call, which makes him forget that he almost placed that order. So if we can get back in front of Sally or Marco or the hundreds of people every month that they represent, then we can convert them into sales. You've probably had this experience on Instagram where it feels like you're being stalked because you visited an online shopping website where you almost bought an item from an online store and then didn't complete checkout for whatever reason. And then for the next month, the stalking begins because you constantly see advertisements for that product. There's a reason all these brands stalk you, and it's because it's the top sales driver that they use to drive new customers, to drive new sales. But most Facebook ad gurus that are telling restaurants about how to use Instagram don't tell them about this because it ends up saving so much time and so much money that they don't actually need the consultant anymore. So after we've got that Facebook pixel set up on the online ordering system to enable retargeting across Instagram and Facebook of people who almost placed that order, now we go into our Facebook Ads Manager account, which is the place where you set up ads for Instagram and Facebook. And we create a simple ad. For the audience, we just select people who spent over 1 minute on our website, but didn't actually place an online order with us. My friend Chris, the owner of Brooklyn Pizza in Short Hills, is a perfect example of this strategy because he's used it to drive 70 new orders per month and over $3,000 in sales with less than $500 in ad spend. The first thing he set up was was the targeting. He retargeted people who visited his website but didn't actually place an online order with him. And he showed them this Facebook ad, which I'll put on screen for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm about to explain why it is that this ad on screen works. But before I do, if you are liking this video so far and want more videos on growing your restaurant, then make sure to click that subscribe down below so that you can keep learning about growing a restaurant as I do. Every month on this channel, I post a few new videos based on what I've seen work best to increase restaurant sales. So why does it work, Adam? Part of the reason it works is that it's only being served to retargeting audiences. That means that Chris is showing this ad to people who had visited his website but didn't place an online order. And the other key part of the reason this works is the way the ad itself is written. Because as you can see, in just a few sentences, Chris is reminding people of what makes Brooklyn Pizza different and better. He says things like, Brooklyn Pizza is committed to Brooklyn-style cooking with fresh ingredients and great taste. As they're creative, meaning the part of the ad which isn't text, they use a gallery of photos which are showing off the most popular dishes on their menu so that people can eat with their eyes. So powerful in restaurants. One other thing I'll call out is how key it is that they're using emojis strategically. Who would have thought that emojis could be strategic? But in Facebook ads, because emojis make it easier to skim and easier to read through each line and give people visual cues of what it's talking about, it creates more engagement, which drives that ad performance to do better and engages customers more with the content. You may be wondering, this ad is awesome, Adam, so why not just run it to a bigger audience? Why only show it to people who have already visited our website but didn't order? The short answer there is that you can get over $6 in sales on average for every $1 you spend with this type of ad, just like Chris did, if you keep the audience just on retargeting. Because the way Facebook prices advertisements is they charge you for every 1,000 people that they show the ad to. They're charging you about $20 for every 1,000 impressions you generate. So you get to choose, of the 1,000 impressions that you're going to pay $20 for, do you want those impressions to go to people that already know your restaurant and almost bought from you? Or do you want them to go to complete strangers? Because if we've got a fixed marketing budget, it is in our best interest to ensure that that marketing budget is used on the people that have the highest likelihood to convert. Our goal isn't to get as much exposure to people as possible. Our goal is to drive as much in sales with the least spend possible, which is where retargeting is so powerful, because these people already have that deep familiarity with our brand that comes from having spent time on our website, almost placing an online ordering system. You'll notice I kicked this off with a paid Instagram strategy right away. That's because although many people will tell you to focus on the free strategies for Instagram, like posting every day, those free strategies can be really hard to do well and actually get return on the investment from. They take huge amounts of time every day, and that isn't practical for busy restaurant owners to spend hours every day figuring out what pictures to take in the restaurant, actually edit them and how to caption them, which doesn't actually drive sales for restaurants. Because most people on Instagram are there to be entertained. They're not there to look for restaurants to buy from. There's an exception to this, which we'll get into later in the video, but that is why this idea that the way you succeed on Instagram is through constantly posting is just false. Organic strategies can get you impressions and likes. And I'll mention a few in this video, but likes can't pay your rent. What does? Actual sales. So it's critical that the strategies we focus on actually drive sales. So we've established that retargeting can make restaurants a lot of money when done properly. But there's one crucial mistake that restaurants sometimes make, and that mistake is not having an optimized profile. Just like a website needs to be optimized for conversion, so does an Instagram profile. Because investing time into bringing people to your Instagram page without having an optimized profile would be like trying to sell your house and having beautiful photography on Zillow, an incredible curb appeal with the lawn perfectly manicured, but then when people walk into the open house, having them see graffiti in the kitchen and dog poop. It just kills the deal for the people that actually step into the house and want to learn more. Some customers will actually click into the restaurant restaurant's Instagram profile and ask themselves questions. And within seconds, they're going to be making judgments about whether they're going to order from this place. They'll be asking themselves things like, what's most popular on this restaurant's menu? Or what are this restaurant's hours? Or even crazy young people like me, does this restaurant have good vibes? And that question can be quickly answered with an optimized profile. The first common mistake I see is not using the profile description in the right way, because in that profile description, we need to quickly have the following things addressed in the customer's mind: the type of cuisine, the differentiating factors, the website, and the call to action. My friend Omar, the owner of Talkin' Tacos in Miramar, Florida, is a perfect example of Instagram optimization done right, because at this point, he's driving over 100 new customers per month from Instagram like clockwork, both with the paid strategies and with organic strategies. And a huge part of how he's been able to do that is ensuring that when people click in to his Talkin' Tacos page, that they're quickly able to answer those questions that are going on in their mind. So I'll put up his profile on screen so that you can see what I mean. First line, it's halal Mexican food. Second line, they share their most popular dish by saying home of the birria tacos. Third line of that description, they call out a local partnership that makes it clear that they're a member of their community, partner of the Miami Dolphins. I've also seen restaurants that don't want to splurge on a big partnership like that talk about their cuisine type in their community. Like my friend Antoinette from Ottavio's, who says, this is a concept with our family's recipes from Italy brought to Lakeside, California. And then directly underneath this, they do a call to action. They're trying to tell the customer what the next step is to take in placing that order. So they say things like, order from our app for 20% off your first order. Then they do story highlights. You can think of story highlights as your restaurant's greatest hit highlight reels, like a movie trailer, where the way movies grab the audience's attention is they show them all of the best parts of the movie compiled, where quickly they're helping people determine whether they want to watch that movie by answering questions they have about what it's about. Because when customers are discovering a restaurant on Instagram, they've got questions that are on their mind. Questions like, what are the hours of this place? Which is why Talkin' Tacos' first highlight is the hours highlight. Another common question for customers considering buying from this place are what the most popular dishes are on the menu, which is why the second highlight on Talkin' Tacos, shout out Omar and Mo, the owners, is the best dishes on the menu that they have. Then other things that they've got going are community events, sharing the local charities that they're in partnership with, as well as an ordering tab, which helps people clearly see why to order directly from that restaurant rather than ordering from DoorDash or Uber Eats. They're training the customer through these highlights what to think about when they think of Talkin' Tacos. This is important, by the way, even if we're only doing the retargeting strategy, because sometimes customers click into the profile that is serving them the retargeting ad and then make fast decisions about whether to go to this restaurant based on those highlights, as we discussed. So now that we've got retargeting ads set up and our profile optimized, that brings us to the next strategy, strategy number 3, which is how to post content that does well on Instagram for actually attracting new customers. And we should go back to Talkin' Tacos for this, because they are masterful in the way they execute Instagram. They've attracted over 110,000 followers over the past 3 years and are quite good at driving new customers from it. I know this because I've seen their numbers, and I see that they get 50 new customers every month from Instagram for free, and 3,000 impressions per post and 400 likes per post. Omar estimates that Instagram gets him in front of 90,000 extra people per month, many of which are local customers. You may have remembered a few minutes ago that I just said likes don't pay the bills, impressions don't pay the bills, so why am I telling you these things? Well, in Omar's case, he gets both, because his numbers prove that last month he drove an extra $14,000 in online sales just through Instagram. He has a specific Instagram strategy that consists of 2 parts. The first part is the frequency of posting. He posts a lot, and he's trained his managers to do the same. The second part of what he does is related to aesthetic, or as the young Gen Z folk say, vibe. Vibe is important for appealing not just to young people, but to all people, because as we know in restaurants, people love to eat with their eyes. So it's no surprise how colorful the Talkin' Tacos Instagram page is. Each picture of their food and video, this same food porn-like style. The saturation is dialed way up so the colors pop. And if you look at the top performing restaurant pages on Instagram, you'll notice something pretty weird, which is that they all seem to be edited using the exact same editing style. And that's because that editing style has been tested time and time again and is proven description to lead to the highest engagement. And engagement on a post is how Instagram decides whether it's going to show that post to people on their explore pages or under geotags, which we'll cover in a moment. And it is that explore pages and geotags which lead to new customer discovery versus just showing the same posts to the same followers of any Instagram page. The most successful type of filters that I have seen are the yummy filters in the Foodie app, which apply best to high quality photos that you want to look extra craveable. You can scroll through them and preview them on the app. This video is not sponsored by Foodie, but I'm a huge fan because I've seen a lot of restaurants use it successfully. So here are some examples of food pictures editing with Foodie, which is a pretty cheap app that any restaurant can download. This is the preset yummy filter, which achieves this aesthetic before and after. And here's the preset barbecue filter if you've got a barbecue type of restaurant, before and after. If you want to get advanced and edit like the top Instagram pages, they tend to apply these settings manually with images in their editing app to make sure they look as delicious as possible. They turn brightness up about 10 points. They turn contrast up about 15 points. They turn saturation up about 18 points, and they increase warmth about 7 points. This brings us to the next strategy related to posting, which is don't be spammy with your posts. You want to be careful that not every post feels like you're begging your customers to please order your food with a strong call to action in the description, because that is not what creates entertaining, engaging content for people that are on Instagram. So how do we accomplish this? We do it by creating posts that are also about your brand, your story, and your team, but that are simultaneously entertaining. I have to use Talkin' Tacos as an example again. They're not a sponsor, but I've just learned a lot from what they do, so I insist. One video that they posted, it comes to mind because they went viral for it, where they filmed their kitchen team dancing to Mexican music in the kitchen. Look at those moves. I don't just mean the dance moves, I mean the branding moves. This is branding genius because it shows the spirit of Talkin' Tacos, which is a fun-loving brand where the kitchen team has great energy as they make the food, and that makes customers fall that much more in love with what it is that they're doing. But if you look at the comments, you'll notice that they're building a cult-like fan base. People are talking about how this is an awesome restaurant, and some people are even wanting to work for them, which is pretty awesome in this labor market. Which brings us to our next posting strategy related to driving new customers from organic posts using geotags strategically. Geotags sound like a very technical term, but are a very simple idea. So as fun as Omar's Instagram sounds so far with the dancing videos and the beautiful looking food, you may have noticed a problem, which is that Instagram is global, meaning that usually posts get shown to people all around the world. And as a restaurant owner in South Florida, who cares if people in Dubai like his dancing kitchen videos if they're not actually going to become customers? So that brings us to the next part of this video, how we can use geotags strategically to ensure that our content is shown to the right people in the right location that can actually become customers of our restaurant. Geotags are the location setting on a post on Instagram, and they show you where it was posted from. It may seem kind of a generic tool, like, shouldn't you just put your restaurant's location there every time? The answer is no. Geotags are a huge missed opportunity if you just put your restaurant as the location every time, because the only people that tag will reach are people that already know your restaurant's name and location, which is why they're searching for your restaurant. But a way to use it to drive new customer discovery of people that are looking for things to do in your city or on your street is to tag those things in the food pictures you post. Because some people, especially young people, search their city on Instagram to figure out fun stuff to do, or the street name that they're on to see what there is in the area. And if they see delicious pictures of your food there or videos of your team dancing while they make your food, it can lead to new customer discovery because those people are in your area looking for things to do. So you geotag a post with your city name and it gets high engagement. Then with that high engagement, it stays pinned to the top of that geotag for a while so that anybody that is looking for things to do see those first 9 posts at the top, and that is how it results in new customers. My friend Steven, the owner of Planta in Miami, does this brilliantly on his Instagram, because rather than tagging every post Atlanta South Beach as the location, he and his team tag some with the street name, Commerce Street, and some with the location, the city of South Beach, Miami, and so on. So if you look at his profile and those geotags, his pictures and his videos are often the ones that are pinned to the very top for these tourist destinations, which drive new customer discovery from people that are nearby looking for cool things to do in the area or accounts to follow. There's actually a way to measure how many new followers and profile visits each post drives, and to use that to get better at creating content for your audience, because it proves to you what is actually working versus what is not. To do that, you click into the Insights tab at the bottom of any Instagram post, and that tells you how many new followers it drove and how many profile visits it drove. But the problem that you're probably thinking to yourself is, how much in sales did the post drive? How do we figure that out? If you want to see how many new customers you're getting from Instagram in total, there's a technology that makes it so that you can track not only the new customers, but how much in sales they drove straight from Instagram. I know because we built it. We were tired of hearing from restaurant owners about how frustrating it was to not even know if their time and money that was being spent on Instagram was actually working. So we built the technology that sits on that restaurant's website and counts exactly how many new orders and exactly how much in sales they're driving based on where the customer is finding that restaurant from, including on Instagram. If they click from the Instagram app, we can track that. And we can show you exactly how many new orders you're doing from Instagram each month versus Google versus Facebook versus Yelp, as well as other growth channels. Now, let's dive into the most effective Facebook ads for restaurants that will help you attract new customers, boost repeat orders, and send more traffic to your website. In this video, I'm going to show you the best Facebook ads for increasing restaurant sales in 2024. We'll start by covering the 3 best types of Facebook ads for restaurants. The first will be the best Facebook ad for getting new customers. The second will be the best Facebook ad for increasing how often existing customers order. Then the third, the best Facebook ad for increasing how many people visit your website and actually become customers. There is an ad for that. Then, as a bonus, I'll show you the best Facebook ad I've seen for driving catering orders, with an example of a restaurant using it to make over $5,000 per month in extra catering orders. So let's dive into it. We'll start with the #1 best way to increase online orders with Facebook ads: retargeting website visitors that didn't convert with a compelling offer. My friend Chris, the owner of Brooklyn Pizza, is a perfect example of this. He used this to drive over 70 new orders and over $3,000 in sales in just 30 days with less than $500 in ad spend. The first thing he did was set up the targeting. He retargeted people who visited his website but didn't actually place an order with this Facebook ad. Part of the magic of this ad is the fact that he only served it to retargeting audiences. The other key part of this ad is the way the team at Brooklyn Pizza actually wrote the ad text itself. As you can see, in just a few sentences, they reminded people of what makes Brooklyn Pizza different and better. They say things like, Brooklyn Pizza is committed to fresh ingredients and great tasting Brooklyn-style cooking. And then they call out their top dishes, like home of the famous Sorrento pizza knots, as well as their online ordering system, saying how easy it is and rewarding it is to order from their website directly. As their creative, meaning the part of the ad which isn't the text, they use a gallery of photos showing off the most popular dishes on their menu so that people can eat with their eyes and start craving items on their menu. One other thing to call out is how key it is to use emojis to break up every sentence in Facebook ads, because this makes it easy for people to skim and read through them. You may be wondering, Adam, why not just run this ad to a bigger audience? The short answer is that you can get over $6 for every $1 you spend in this type of ad, just like Chris did, if you keep the audience small and just retarget. Here's why. On restaurant websites, the average conversion rate from website visitor into new customer averages just 3%. That means that 97% of all people visiting a restaurant website won't actually become customers, at least not on that first visit. So what's so valuable about being able to serve those ads to people is that they were recently interested enough in that restaurant to actually visit our website and scroll around. They already know the restaurant and are interested in it. As for why they didn't become customers if they're interested, it's often not because they don't want to order from us, it's because they just got distracted, or their friend insisted on another place, or they decided to make dinner that night themselves. So, how do you set up a retargeting campaign? I'll quickly break down the steps for you to make it super easy. First, you add a Facebook pixel to your website and online ordering system. Chris uses Owner.com for his website, which has this automatically built in. This gives the Facebook tracking system all of the information about who visits the website so that you can target them on Facebook based on what they do on your website. The second step is to set up an ad in the Facebook ad manager. There were a few things to make sure are set in the campaign targeting itself. In the targeting step of building the ad, make sure that it's just people that have visited your website in the past 14 days to make sure that your restaurant is still top of mind for them. Typically, that's going to be an audience of about 500 people. We then filter it a bit more by saying that we should only be targeting people that spent over 60 seconds on our website and are in our city and haven't yet converted into a customer. These are all key because we want to make sure that we're only targeting people who are actually interested in our restaurant. What I've seen work best is making the conversion goal a direct online order placed through your website. This is what Chris does, and it works best because it's easy to track the return we're getting on the ad spend down to the dollar within Owner.com. Now that we've covered increasing the conversion rate of those website visitors, let's talk about what the best way is to actually get more website visitors and more new customers. But before we get there, if you're liking this video so far and you want more content to help you grow your restaurant, then click that subscribe button down below. Every month, I post a few new videos where I share some of the things I've learned from helping thousands of restaurants grow. Being subscribed means that you'll never miss out on those videos. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, the best strategy for getting new customers. Number 2 is using Facebook lookalikes to acquire more new customers. A great story of a restaurant that used this strategy is my friend Omar, the owner of Talkin' Tacos in Miramar, Florida. Their team is amazing at using Facebook and Instagram ads. He uses the lookalike feature to get more customers through Facebook ads. Here's how it works. Talkin' Tacos' best converting offer for new customer campaigns is a free delivery offer, meaning that they write an ad that says, "Attention Miami taco lovers. If you're craving some juicy, tender birria tacos," their most popular menu item, "we've got you covered. We're offering free delivery this week to celebrate our new Brickell location. Order now on our app and use code TACOLOVE to get that item." With a gallery view of their most popular menu items in addition to the birria taco, similar to what we saw Chris from Brooklyn Pizza do. Lookalike audience is a feature that's built into Facebook that lets you target people who look like existing customers, meaning that Omar and his team at Talkin' Tacos uploaded their list from their website and their online ordering system and their POS, and then they told Facebook, "Hey Facebook, find people who are more like our customers and show them our ads." This drives bananas results because Facebook often notices things that we don't even know about our own top customers. For example, Talkin' Tacos in Miami is a hip concept that really appeals to young people. Their customers are typically millennials or Gen Z. So when we uploaded our customer list, Facebook found all of the top customers on Facebook and then figured out what they all had in common. Like maybe Facebook finds that our top customers tend to love the artist David Guetta and also tend to be between the ages of 26 and 30 specifically. Facebook then uses all of the things that it notices about our customers to find more people nearby that are exactly like them. And the results? A cost per new customer of under $10 on Facebook in Talkin' Tacos' case. It's a huge part of how they get over 100 new customers per month from social media. So the way this works is we go into Facebook ads, we select lookalike audiences as the targeting setting, and then we start by uploading a list of our top customers for it to look alike against. Usually the POS or online ordering system offers us an export as a CSV to upload. And then using that list, Facebook will scan those profiles, see what they all have in common, and then serve ads to a group of people that look like them. So now that we've talked about how you can get more new customers and increase the amount of them that place online orders, let's finish off by covering number 3, using custom audiences to increase spend of existing customers. Have you ever ordered all the time from a restaurant and then kind of just forgotten about it? You still know it exists, but for whatever reason, you fell out of the habit of going there. Well, it turns out almost everyone has had this experience with even great restaurants that they love. People love the food, but there's just so many different options out there that they kind of just forget and stop ordering. That's where this next strategy comes in and becomes so powerful. A great example of it comes from my friend Antoinette, the owner of Ottavio's Italian restaurant. Her Italian restaurant is based in a small town called Lakeside, California. But even in a small town, she feels it's important to constantly communicate with her customers to make sure that she and Ottavio's, her restaurant, stay top of mind. It's how she gets 200 extra orders from her customer base per month, totaling over $8,000 in extra sales. And one of the ways she does it is with Facebook ads. This is how. Antoinette starts by uploading her customer list to Facebook. And then she sets up the targeting as a custom audience, meaning that Facebook will target just those people. Then in her ad itself, she follows a very similar strategy to what we saw with Chris from Brooklyn Pizza. She keeps it simple, reminding people of what is unique and better about Ottavio's, which in her case is the fact that it's her family's recipes from Italy and how that restaurant is a lakeside staple, as well as calling out some of her top selling dishes to begin to intrigue people. Her ad reads, "When you're craving authentic Italian food, Ottavio's has got you covered. We've been serving the lakeside community since 1953. Our family's recipes were brought straight from Italy to give people their Italian favorites. Come see why our garlic bread is often called the best in California and why our spicy chicken angel hair pasta gets such rave reviews every time." Anyway, in addition to that ad style that Antoinette is using, I saw a restaurant called Clean Juice that uses a similar approach with custom audiences, but makes it even more simple. As you can see here, they have a creative which shows their tasty looking dragon fruit bowl and simple text which reads, "Kick off the fall with the dragon fruit bowl, new from Clean Juice." It's a great example because new menu items are a great way to drive additional orders from past customers. They intrigue them the most because they're already familiar with their menu and love new items. Reminding those people to order is so powerful for driving up their frequency and ensuring the restaurant stays top of mind. What's especially powerful about custom audiences is the fact that the average Facebook ad CPM is still under $15, meaning that they only charge you $15 per 1,000 times that your ad is seen by customers. Why this can be such great value as far as advertising goes and returns more than $10 for every dollar spent in the ad campaigns that I've seen. So if you're just showing ads to your top 200 customers with a custom audience approach, it means that you can remind them each to order like 5 times per month for $15 total. If you reminded each of your top 200 customers to order 5 times per month, do you think you'd be able to make more than $15 in sales to pay back the ad costs? Definitely. In fact, you'd probably make more than 10 times that. I typically see restaurants seeing a 5x to 10x return in ad spend on using this simple campaign. The best part is that there's another smart way to use it, which I first saw in action at a Mexican restaurant called Tocaya Organica. What they do, in addition to having ads which are designed to stay top of mind, is they have ads which are designed to turn their existing customers into huge catering orders. As you can see on screen, they target their past customers using Facebook custom audiences. And then they say, Tocaya Catering is the secret ingredient to your summer party. One of the things that is so smart about this is that they're driving catering orders and offering great value to customers who want catering with that 15% off coupon. But they're coming out ahead on this because those catering orders would otherwise go through Easy Cater, which takes 30%. Plus, as we all know, catering orders are higher profit margin and easier for the kitchen to prepare, even on a slammed day, because they come in bulk. Up next, I'll share the 7 email strategies every restaurant should be using to boost repeat orders and deepen customer loyalty. In this video, we're going to talk about these 7 proven money-making emails that every restaurant should be sending to their customer list. When I first started helping restaurants with online marketing, I thought email marketing was old and tired and dead, that it wouldn't work in driving sales increases because it's been around since the 90s. But I kept hearing how great it was from people. So I decided to try it out with my friend Rahul, who owns Saffron Indian Kitchen in Philadelphia. Our goal was to send a few emails with tracking and see if it was actually worth it in terms of the sales increases it would produce. And holy moly, I was absolutely blown away by the results. Because all we did was we took his existing customer list from his POS and his online ordering system, and we sent them a few emails with tracking to see if it actually helped drive additional sales. We weren't expecting that much. We would have considered like a $200 bump to be a big win because emails are basically free to send out. But the results were wild. In just 30 days, he generated over $2,700 in additional sales that were directly trackable back to that campaign. And that was just in online sales through his website. Didn't include all the increases he saw in store. Better than that, we've now got his system dialed in and it's running on autopilot. It drips 2 new emails to his list
every week like clockwork, which now is responsible for a $9,400 additional increase in monthly sales for him, trackable back to the campaigns. The best part, it costs less than $50 a month to maintain. I finally understood what the restaurant marketers who were telling me, Adam, you've got to do email marketing, it's a game changer for restaurants, meant. It's the highest ROI marketing investment that any restaurant can make. When you've got it dialed in, it can become a superpower for that restaurant. I could not have been more wrong to think that emails wouldn't work. And when I began to research more about email marketing, because I dismissed it altogether at first, I saw a crazy statistic from a study done by the Data and Marketing Association. They found that the average ROI for email marketing in the United States is $42 for every $1 spent across industries. And I think it's even higher in restaurants for a few reasons we'll cover in this video and from the numbers that I've seen behind restaurant email marketing campaigns. So in this video, we're going to cover the top 7 types of email marketing campaigns that I've seen perform best for restaurants in years of doing this now. I'll be sharing real examples from real restaurants, including their sales data and their strategies, their language, to share those with you, in addition to instructions on how to set them up. The big concern I hear in regards to email marketing from restaurant owners is how much time it takes and how it seems like a big technical headache. So I'll make sure we spend time at the end sharing how you can automate 6 of these 7 email campaigns that we're going to discuss to run automatically without you needing to spend hours every week doing email marketing, because no restaurant owner has time for that. So let's dive in to the first money-making email. Email marketing for restaurants must have number 1, the cart abandonment email. This one is an absolute must-have, and I first saw it in action at my friend Mo and Omar's restaurant, Talkin' Tacos in Miami, which has grown from 1 to 5 locations in just 3 years through amazing online marketing strategies. They truly try it all and they do well. They set up an automatic email marketing campaign to go out to customers that started building their order online, but didn't actually check out. And it drove crazy results. As you can see, this campaign drove over $2,450 in additional sales for this taqueria in the past 30 days alone. Actually, I'll just screenshot the results they saw and put it up on screen since it's so wild. Look, Mom, I'm a real YouTuber now. I can put up screenshots on my videos. I'm getting better at this by the day. Now, you may have noticed when you shop online at retailers and online shops, that if you build your cart, add items in, and then enter your email, but you don't check out, they send what's called a cart abandonment email that says, hey, you forgot to check out, do it here in 1 click. I don't know if it's ever got you before when they send that email, but it definitely works. It's gotten me many times, probably thousands of dollars in sales just for me as a consumer from these cart abandonment emails. Here are some of the numbers behind it. In the online shopping world, marketing platform Klaviyo published research showing that every cart abandonment email sent out to customers makes $5.81 in additional sales. $5.81 per email sent out. That's just wild, because it turns out that it works even better in restaurants. When you send these campaigns, they are so relevant to guests that they have an average open rate of over 40%, which is more than double the typical email, and an average click-through rate of over 10%, which is 5 times the typical email. Here's an example of what this email could look like for, say, Talkin' Tacos. Subject line, you left these goodies behind at Talkin' Tacos. Then showing pictures of the food in their cart that they left behind, with a body that reads, Adam, you left these behind. Sunday night is as good a time as any for tacos. Click here to complete your order. Then a button to complete their order in just a few taps. It's super simple, literally just reminds people and uses in psychology what's called completion bias to get them to finish what they started. It also uses the pictures of the dishes that they left in their cart to make it extra enticing, because as we all know in restaurants, people love to eat with their eyes. Why does this work, Adam? Great question. I'm glad you asked. Because lots of people get interrupted by something midway through ordering. Like maybe they get a phone call halfway through placing that online order. And just a gentle nudge is all it takes to make them remember, hey, I gotta place that order with that restaurant and put them back on track. It also uses a psychology bias that I mentioned earlier called completion completion bias, where people feel extra compelled to finish what they started. So it reminds them that they already built an order and should go through with completing it. Anyway, this is a must-have email campaign, but it's certainly not the only one. That brings us to must-have email campaign for restaurants number 2 is the welcome email. Let's take a step back for a moment. When a customer signs up for your email list on your website, it's important to use that as an opportunity to set expectations with them about what to expect from your emails and to actually give them a reason to place an order with you. By the way, let's take another step back for just a moment. If you don't currently have a way on your website for website visitors to give you their contact details and marketing opt-in, including their email, it's time you joined us in the 21st century, because that means that you are leaving serious money on the table. Here's why it's so important. Less than 1 in 10 of your website visitors are actually ready to make a purchase when they're on the average restaurant website. This is the case across almost all industries, including and especially restaurants, where conversion rates are super low on the typical website. So that means that 9 in 10 of your website visitors get completely wasted and don't convert into sales on that first visit. So if you can collect their details on that first visit and then send them a welcome email to get them to place an order, it increases the rate at which you're able to convert website visitors into actual sales increases. I'll put an example on screen of what works best for Rahul at Saffron. It's super simple, as you can see, and the goal is to set expectations and give a reason for ordering. It says, "Hey Adam, I saw you just joined our online club for Saffron and I wanted to shoot you a welcome. Being in our online club means getting alerts about limited specials, new menu discounts, and more." So boom, we've set expectations about the benefits they get for opening these emails, which will increase open rate in the future, but more importantly, we're actually giving them an offer. By the way, it says, "I'd recommend trying our direct online ordering through our mobile app. It saves us both money versus platforms like Grubhub. It has rewards built in to give you free food for supporting local business, and is super easy to use. We even offer delivery. You can use code LOCAL for 20% off your first order on us this week. Hope to get the chance to serve you some of our delicious Indian food soon. Thank you, Rahul, owner of Saffron Indian Kitchen." That is a masterpiece of an email, because not only have we set expectations to get future emails to be opened, deals, special alerts, updates on the menu, and more, but we're now giving them a reason to place an online order with us so that we can convert more than 1 in 10 of our website visitors into actual customers and ultimately make more money from our website. I also love that it provides a nice touch and it's signed by the owner and it's personalized. It's achieving 3 key benefits for the restaurant. First, it's setting expectations about what is in it for the guest to keep opening these emails. Alerts on limited specials, new menu items, discounts. Those are all compelling reasons to keep opening these emails. Second, it's educating the potential customer about the importance of ordering directly. And beyond just educating them, it's giving them a reason to order immediately, which is why this email alone drives over $1,000 in additional trackable sales for Saffron and Rahul every month, like clockwork, just from sending the welcome email. So it's not only increasing the effectiveness of the rest of all their email campaigns because it gets people excited to open them, but it actually drives sales. By the way, if you found this video helpful so far, then I'd recommend taking 5 seconds to click that subscribe button on my channel below. That makes sure that you never miss out on what's working in growing a restaurant business today, because I post a few free breakdowns like this one of everything I see that's working for the thousands of restaurants that I've analyzed. From massive restaurant corporations to independent restaurants, I'm constantly sharing stories on this channel of the most effective things for growing a restaurant business. But once we've gotten the customer to actually place an order with us, there's another key email we've got to send immediately afterwards to increase sales over the long run. And that is the number 3 must-have restaurant marketing campaign, the feedback email. My friend Antoinette, the owner of Otavio's in Lakeside, California, has a genius email in place which asks guests for feedback after they order online. It's that simple. And it has driven her dozens of additional 5-star reviews every single quarter since she's activated it. More importantly, it prevents the upset Karen customers from terrorizing the restaurant online. In the restaurant business, we all know the importance of reviews. There's research from Grubhub which shows that 70% of potential guests actually check online reviews to make that decision about whether to try any given restaurant. Restaurants literally live or die by their online reputation, by their reviews. So how does Antoinette use email marketing to help build up her online reputation? You might be wondering. It's super simple. Here's how it works. Her email marketing software looks at customers that place an order, then waits an hour after the food was picked up or it was delivered and sends an email saying, "Hey Adam, how was your food and experience in ordering from us today? Would you mind taking 2 minutes to share your feedback here?" And then it has a big leave a review button. Then it says, "I read every review because making customers happy with great food makes my day. And I always want to know if there was something wrong about your experience or anything that we could improve." Now, this email shows the customer that the restaurant really cares about them. It makes them feel special. It's, by the way, signed at the end. "Thank you, Antoinette, the owner." Then she uses a platform which is linked to this email where the customer can either leave a negative review or a positive review. If it was a negative review, it apologizes for their bad experience. It automatically says, "We're forwarding this to our managers. We take this very seriously. We're sorry we let you down and we'll be in touch with you right away." But if it was a positive review with 5 stars, it asks them to post it online and gives them extra loyalty points for sharing their great experience with Facebook or Google or even on Antoinette's website. So this is achieving 2 key money-making effects for the restaurant. The first is that it's improving the restaurant's star rating online by making sure that those unfair, ridiculous Karens don't drag it down with their 1-star nonsense reviews. And instead they can be handled quietly by the manager that they're always requesting to speak to. There's data that shows that for every 1-star review that ends up on Google or Yelp, sales for a restaurant decrease by $700. $700 in lost potential sales and new customers just from one star review. Not to mention what the decrease in star rating does to sales over time. And the second effect it achieves is incentivizing word of mouth and actually driving more positive reviews. Just like negative reviews can decrease sales, positive reviews can massively increase them. We all know that there's nothing more powerful than word of mouth in the restaurant business. A recommendation from a friend or a person in our community telling us, "Hey, you've got to try this place out." So by making sure that the people who loved their experience are constantly sharing it online, we're making more money from each customer and making sure that they all get an amazing experience in ordering from us, which of course is going to increase their frequency and increase their loyalty to us because we're showing them that we care. As for how specifically Antoinette does it and how I know her numbers, she uses our platform at Owner.com, which has this campaign and all the others we're covering built in automatically. It's got comprehensive email marketing software for restaurants and templates that you can integrate with your online ordering and mobile apps and POS. It's also what Rahul from Saffron uses and Mo and Omar from Talkin' Tacos, along with thousands of other restaurant owners. That's how I know which campaigns work and which don't. I'd recommend checking it out at Owner.com to get a free demo to see if it would work for your specific needs.
Thousands of restaurant owners across the United States use Owner.com.
Anyway, that's the end of the Owner commercial. Let's get back into the next must-have email. The number 4 must-have restaurant email marketing campaign is the specials campaign. The best example I've seen of the specials campaign comes from Timmery Shibley, the owner of Doodah Diner in Wichita, Kansas. When they first opened their doors, their husband, Chef Patrick, came up with a genius way to keep regulars engaged, where every week he creates a new special for the menu that's just available for that week that people within the dining room absolutely loved. So Timmery, his co-owner and wife, thought to herself, why don't we just do this online to stay top of mind and give regulars this as an update to their email? So she started building an online email list on her website and social medias where she sends out a weekly broadcast and text message to all of them telling them about what the special of the week is. It says something along the lines of, "Hey Adam, Timmery here with the Doodah Diner weekly special. This week, we are introducing our scrumptious crab cake Benedict, available while ingredients last. Then it has a picture of the crab cake Benedict, and the pictures always look really good, no wonder it works, and a description under it, because again, those pictures are important as people eat with their eyes. That description is something frou-frou, like French-style lumpy crab cakes on top of crispy hash browns and poached eggs. Hollandaise sauce, grilled asparagus, and jalapeno bacon crumbles. You can enjoy this dish in our dining room or use our app to order it for easy takeout or delivery. And every single week, she engages her community of customers in Wichita, Kansas with these weekly special emails who love her gourmet food and who are excited to try the next dish that her husband, Chef Patrick, whips up from scratch. It depends on the week, but on the typical week, this is driving a minimum of $500 in additional sales for her. Every week, like clockwork, which is $2,000 a month or $24,000 a year minimum. Sometimes these specials are a huge hit, and the extra sales that she sees are multiple times that if the special is extra popular. This is the one email on the list that can't exactly be automated, or not very easily at least, because it requires coming up with a new weekly special. What Timmery does to somewhat simplify it is she rotates between 20 to 30 different specials throughout the year that she's already photographed, that she's already gotten descriptions written for, that she already knows are popular, because she's been doing this for years and years. So it makes it easier for her to promote them since the pictures and the descriptions are ready to send out to the regulars. And it still feels novel to the guest because they're rotating every week. But that's part of why it's so powerful. It feels personalized and like a rare opportunity to try those gourmet dishes. So to break down why this works, number one, it keeps Duda Diner constantly top of mind with customers because it's so easy in this noisy world to forget about restaurants, so it constantly is keeping them informed and excited to try new items on the menu. Second, it has scarcity built in. The second line of the email has the key phrase, available while ingredients last, building urgency for that customer to get those dishes while they can. Third, it lets people eat with their eyes. The beautiful picture. It keeps it simple so that people can actually look forward to skimming that email every week and seeing the tasty food that Chef Patrick has whipped up. Okay, so now that we've covered the one email that can't be automated, let's get back to the ones that can be automated, that you can set and forget on autopilot. This next one is probably our most powerful email in the entire batch for instantly driving sales. The number 5 must-have restaurant email is the you might also like email. The best use of this email I've seen comes again from Rahul, the owner of Saffron Indian Kitchen in Philadelphia. We started this video with him, but this email works even better than the first one we started with. In his dining room, he noticed guests were constantly asking servers for recommendations, including regulars who had been there before. It wasn't just new people that wanted recommendations, it was everybody. So he set up an automatic email campaign to make recommendations automatically, and he gets absolutely amazing results from it. Over the past 30 days, this email has driven him over $4,000 in trackable sales. The way it works is it waits 3 days after a customer orders a specific dish twice from the restaurant menu. And it says, Adam, if you liked our tandoori lamb chops, we think you might also like our tandoori chicken. Then it has a picture of that dish it's recommending and a description, just like the one we saw from Timmery. Then it says, guests who love the lamb chops also tend to love the chicken. You can order them on our website or app to skip the line, or even do delivery to get it right to the front door of your house and earn loyalty points. It also sends it to regulars every few months that consistently order to keep selling other dishes to them to cross-sell. This increases average order size and it increases the types of meals that regulars think of you for. We actually found this email so effective that we built it into our platform to make automatic recommendations using the latest in machine learning, so that it's constantly scanning what dishes do people tend to pair together, and then when somebody tends to like a specific dish, it sends them email and text campaigns saying, hey, if you liked this dish, you're going to love this one. Speaking of automated emails, there's another one that comes to mind, which we have to cover in this video, and it's the number 6 must-have restaurant email, the story email. The best example of this story email comes from my friends Sam Ficini and John Arena, the owners of Metro Pizza in Las Vegas. They credited the strategy behind this email with why they have been one of the nation's highest volume pizzeria for decades, driving many millions of dollars in sales every year, extremely efficiently. And that strategy, broadly, that they've credited with their success is storytelling. Constantly telling their customers their story, how it all started for them, how being in the pizza business runs in their blood, how this is their passion and what they love in the world, how their family had pizza shops in New York and how they're now operating an extension of that family legacy, which has been going on for many decades. And they apply this in email too. Super simply, a week after someone joined their email list, after sending that welcome email we covered, they send a personalized note sharing their story. This is powerful because people are inspired by entrepreneurs. And as a restaurant owner, you all have stories to tell. So sharing how you started to own your business and your journey to get there can help you build connections with people. Some restaurant stories are stories of immigration, of coming to this country for a better life and now getting to live our American dream by owning our own restaurant. Others are stories of family or of falling in love with a specific type of food and wanting to bring it to your community. It doesn't have an instant sales impact like a lot of the other emails that we've covered in this series, but it has a massive sales impact over the long run. It actually may be the most powerful sales driver of the whole list, even if it's not measurable right away. Because people love to support people and buy from people in their communities way more than they like to buy from corporations. When people get to know you as the owner behind the restaurant, they more deeply connect with your food and order more frequently and are more loyal customers and are more likely to tell their friends about it. I've constantly seen this pattern of great storytelling time and time again among the most successful independent restaurant owners that I've studied and gotten to work with. They're amazing at connecting with customers through sharing their story, through being vulnerable, through talking about the difficult periods that they went through in order to open their restaurant, and constantly sharing how and why the restaurant came to be, how this is a part of themselves, how this is so important to them, and it deepens those relationships with customers. Okay, so to wrap up the list with another extremely powerful money-making email that Rahul from Saffron has used to increase sales. Number 7 must-have restaurant email is the regular revival email. Rahul from Saffron noticed in his own life that he would love ordering from certain restaurants for some periods of time, but then he'd get busy and he'd forget about why he loved those restaurants so much and fall out of the habit of ordering consistently from them. And he thought, if this happens with me to other restaurants and I'm in this business, this must be happening in my restaurant where our regulars just kind of forget to order from us. Have you ever had that experience? It turns out that almost everybody has that experience, and it costs restaurants hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost potential sales to just let those regulars go. So anyway, what he did to solve this problem was ingenious. He activated an email that checks if somebody has ordered more than 3 times from his restaurant, but then hasn't ordered in the past 45 days. And then on that 45th day that they haven't ordered, even if they've already been a regular, he sends them a set of emails to get them to order frequently from him again. It starts off by saying something along the lines of, "Hey Adam, we miss you. We noticed you used to order a lot, but haven't been in a while. In case it helps, we want to offer you 20% off your next online order this week. You can use code REGULAR on our app or website to redeem it and reorder your past favorites from us in just a few easy taps. And then integration with their past order so that they can click order again in one easy tap to get what they typically order. And then it says, thank you, Rahul, owner of Saffron. Then it shows them a breakdown again of what they've ordered in the past inside a big box that makes it easy to order again. And it says order again to make it as frictionless as possible to place that repeat order and to be revived as a regular, which is why it's called the Regular Revival Campaign. This works for 3 reasons. The first is that this customer is clearly already a fan of the restaurant since they've ordered multiple times. The second is that it gives them a clear reason to order again, reminding them of their favorite dishes and typical orders, and makes them feel special by recognizing that they're missed and offering them 20% off that next order. The third is that it removes all of the friction from ordering again. It literally just takes a few seconds to place that order again because they have a big order again button on the email that makes the customer be able to place that repeat order in just a few taps. And if they tap that email and they have the app installed, the Saffron app that is, it'll open it in the app and make it super easy for them to order again.
While email is a great tool, text messages can be even more powerful with open rates up to 10 times higher than email. So now let's look at the 5 best text messages restaurant owners should be sending.
When I was first starting to help restaurants with restaurant marketing about 6 years ago, I knew text message marketing would be pretty good because it had worked on me a few times as a customer of restaurants, and I knew that open rates on text message marketing were like 10 times that of email. But then I read the numbers behind text message marketing. 1 in 3 people open up text within 1 minute of receiving them from businesses, or that about 20% of people who received a text actually click through on that link that they receive. In this video, I'll share with you 5 different ways you can use text message marketing in your restaurant, including 5 different examples from real restaurants and the real numbers behind their real campaigns. I wasn't ready for just how powerful text message marketing would be for restaurants until I saw it in action at Bella Roma Bakery and Pizzeria in Port St. Lucie. And at the time, the owner Sal had just started using an online ordering system, but was having trouble promoting it to get people to order directly from his website, which was problematic because you know what that means as a restaurant operator. It means that all the orders go through Uber Eats instead, and Sal gets hosed with fees and loses all the customer data. So he was looking for a way to get people to go directly to them, and he had secretly been building a gold mine. He had a bunch of table tents on his tables and QR codes on them in his dining room for customers to join his text list, and would send them occasional text messages when he added new menu items and so forth. So he brought me in to figure out how we could use that list to drive more online orders directly through his website. And when I heard about his big list, I knew that we finally had the perfect opportunity to try the text message marketing I'd been hearing about. So we really needed to increase direct online orders, and what we decided to do was offer free delivery for 72 hours and get the word out via his text message marketing list. In just those 3 days, his previous $150 in daily sales average rose to over $1,000 per day, a more than 600% increase. He literally had so many orders that he didn't even have the delivery drivers to handle them anymore. So we started having to use third-party drivers in addition to in-house. Since then, Sal has used text message marketing to drive his regulars from his dining room to order exclusively from his website rather than through third-party apps. He's built up his direct online sales from under $5,000 a month to over $12,000 a month flowing through his website. And over $3,000 of that increase is coming directly from text message marketing every month. But it's not just Sal. It's important that we cover how you can actually build up your text message marketing list, because it's necessary to do text message marketing. Text message marketing is not a strategy for getting new customers. It's a strategy for making more from existing customers and keeping them engaged. The best restaurant example I've seen is Timmerie Shibley, the owner at Doodah Diner in Wichita, Kansas. The way she does it is she has multiple offers that you can actually see if you go into her dining room on the tables, on the posters, and the different offers appeal to different people to share their numbers and to opt into her text message marketing program. The first offer is to join her list to get notified with her monthly special, with a QR code that you can scan and join. She has posters on the walls near her host stand and table tents that share that one. Then the second offer she has for customers to join her text list is join our VIP club to be entered in a raffle to win a $500 Amazon gift card every month, with a QR code to scan and join on her website. She has posters up on her windows advertising this right by her front door, so that even people who are in the parking lot who don't even go to her restaurant can scan to join, and she can reach them with text message marketing. Then the third offer is a hybrid of the two. It says join our online club to get updates on deals, events, menu specials, and more, with a QR code that people can scan and join, and this is also on table tents. Beyond just being in her dining room, she has 3 different places on her website for people to opt into her text message marketing list with the same types of offers. These offers, by the way, have built up a list of 3,612 people, which is a ton for a single location diner in Wichita, Kansas. It's a gold mine. Okay, so now that we've established how we build up our text message marketing list, how do we actually use it? That brings us to strategy number 1, the monthly specials text that Diner uses. One of the big ways that Timmerie is getting regulars to join her text message marketing list is by telling them that they'll be the first to be notified about her changing monthly specials. So every month, when those come out on the first week of the month, she sends a text saying, "Hey Adam, this week we've got our famous crab cake Benedict back for a limited time at Diner. Featuring juicy crab cakes, crispy hash browns, soft poached eggs, creamy sauce, crunchy asparagus, and spicy bacon bits for a flavor-packed treat. Order through our app on the App Store or in-store before it sells out with a link where they can order." And just like that, thousands of dollars in additional orders pour in that week because she has become famous in her community for having amazing monthly specials. There's a few smart things about what she's doing that make it work particularly well. First, she's using both urgency and scarcity. Urgency when she talks about how it's only this week, and scarcity when she says while supplies last. Better move fast if you want that crab cake Benedict. Second, she's delivering value in her text. Unusual gourmet treats from a chef they already love, her husband, Chef Patrick. So it's no wonder why she's become so famous in her community with this text message marketing campaign. Over the years of doing this, I believe it has driven her over $200,000 in additional sales, trackable back to text message marketing, and builds a super close relationship with her regulars. But speaking of becoming famous in our community, there's another SMS marketing strategy I highly recommend for driving sales indirectly rather than directly, which is strategy number 2, the review text. This one runs completely on autopilot and generates reviews for the restaurant automatically. I first saw it in action with the owner Omar at Talkin' Tacos because he used it to get over 100 5-star reviews, which show up on Google, help with their SEO, and help their conversion rate on their website. It makes their brand look extra popular in their community to constantly be getting 5-star reviews. So how they do it with text is really genius. They set things up so that after a customer places an order on their website or on their app, the system waits until 60 minutes after they get their food, and then it says, "Hey Adam, how was your experience with us today? We'd love if you could take 30 seconds to share feedback," and then here's where the magic happens. They put in a rating from 1 to 5 stars and they share their feedback. If the experience was 1 star and negative, the system tells them, "We are so sorry to have let you down. We forwarded your message to our managers and we'll be in touch shortly." This is extremely powerful because studies show that negative reviews can cost a restaurant over $700 every time they happen from lost new customers that don't go to that restaurant because of that negative review. But if restaurants positively respond to negative reviews and apologize to the customer relationship can be saved before that negative review ends up on Yelp. So this gives their operators constant visibility into how guest experiences are going and lets them address the bad ones quickly and quietly so that they don't end up on Yelp, because we all know how that goes. But if they give their experience 5 stars, the system tells them, "Great, we'd love your help to spread the word in our community. Can you take 30 seconds to post a review online?" Then it gives them a link where they can review the dishes they had, and those reviews get automatically posted online and showcased then throughout the restaurant's website and online menu and app. This is how they've gotten hundreds of additional 5-star reviews over the years. They set it up using our online platform at Owner.com, which integrates with their online ordering system, and it integrates with their app and point of sale system to get this done for them automatically. For full transparency, I'm a very biased source on this topic as one of the creators of the Owner.com platform, which is how I know how well this one works because I've seen it firsthand, but this video isn't supposed to be an Owner commercial. So let's move on to the next one. But before we get into it, if you've found this video helpful so far, I recommend clicking the subscribe button down below. It's completely free and it helps because I post a few breakdowns on what's working today in restaurant marketing a few times a month, based on my experience in helping thousands of restaurants grow over the past 6 years. I'm really excited to share this next one because the results it has achieved for Rahul at Saffron are absolutely bananas. The best part is that it also runs on autopilot, like the review one, and it's been extremely powerful for driving direct sales, which is number 3, the weekly reminder text. This strategy is all about building and reinforcing the process of ordering at the same time for your regulars. The restaurant owner I see using this best is Rahul from Saffron Indian Kitchen in Philadelphia. He sets up his text message marketing to look at each time a customer, specifically a regular customer, orders from him every week. And then it sends a text right before that specific time reminding them to order. Let's say I'm that regular who orders green curry on Friday nights. The text that goes out is like, hey Adam, there's no better way to end the week on Friday night than with some delicious Indian food. We've got some naan and green curry with your name on it. Come join us in the dining room or order takeout or deliver using our app at saffronofphilly.com. It's that simple. And Rahul is seeing over $11,500 per month in additional sales from text message marketing. This campaign is the biggest driver of those additional sales. And it's so powerful because, as you may have noticed with your regulars, people are creatures of habit. Our most valuable customers in restaurants tend to order or stop in at the same time every week. But sometimes they forget or something distracts them, which can be dangerous because if they forget enough times in a row, then they're no longer a regular and they move on to another place. So just by nudging them at the right time with those text messages once a week during the time when they typically order, it strikes this perfect balance of being helpful and driving orders and keeping regulars engaged, but without getting overly spammy, which is so key with text. It actually works really well paired with this next strategy. Strategy number 4, the new menu item text. This one is self-explanatory. When you add an unusual or exciting new menu item, your superfans who are subscribed to your text list love to be the first one to hear about it. Anga, the owner of Matanga's Pizzeria in San Antonio, is the best I've seen at this one. She's literally used it to drive hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales because every season she introduces a few new seasonal specials to test with her customers. For example, this season, she's introducing a Mac sauce pizza that tastes like a Big Mac. So she uses her text subscriber list of over 15,000 people to promote it, sending them a message like, hey Adam, our new menu item for summer is our Mac sauce pizza, inspired by the Big Mac. It's got crispy bacon, ground beef, and Thousand Island dressing blended for our perfect summer pizza. I had the opportunity to visit her while I was in San Antonio last week and got to speak with 5 of her regulars while I was in her dining room because I was curious, did they really like getting these seasonal reminders from her? And when I asked them, they all loved it and they felt it kept them up to date and got excited when she had tasty new treats to share because that's what she's become known for in her community. This is very similar to the Timmery strategy, but the difference is that rather than being a monthly special with limited time and limited quantity, it's a seasonal special with less urgency and less scarcity to do it, but it's less frequent, so it can be layered with all of these other text message marketing campaigns without feeling spammy. So because one of the keys to text message marketing is you only send texts that are relevant and valuable, and you only do it less than twice a week. As soon as you exceed that twice a week point, it starts to become spammy and annoying as a regular. Anga has been using this for years, and she credits text message marketing with driving her at least $200,000 in additional sales over the past 3 years from her tracking. But I'd recommend checking out her channel. She actually is a YouTuber that posts videos on this at the Making Dough Show, where she more deeply explains how it works for her. Speaking of things that work, that brings us to our final example for this video, one of the most powerful strategies that Otavio's uses, which has been a huge part of how they've been able to turn off the delivery apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats altogether because they get so much direct business, which is strategy number 5, the loyalty program text. This is a text that reminds customers of their loyalty points and their pending rewards. Like I mentioned, Antoinette, the owner of Otavio's, is the first one to come to mind for this strategy because she uses it the best I've ever seen. She has it set up so that when a customer passes 2,000 points on her system, meaning they've spent over $200 with her, it waits until Tuesdays, which are the slower days for her, the days she's trying to fill up, and then it sends them a text saying, hey Adam, you've earned 2,000 points and can get select appetizers for free with your next order. That simple text that reminds them of exactly how many points they've got and the fact that they're going to expire is driving an extra $3,500 per month in sales at her single location in Lakeside, California. And it's on autopilot so that anytime a customer spends over $200 and gets those loyalty points, it reminds them that next Tuesday. It's so powerful because it uses the most effective word in marketing, free, to compel them to act and then remind reminds them that their loyalty points expire, so they have an urgency to redeem those free rewards. Anyway, those are the 5 strategies that I've seen work best for text message marketing for restaurants.
Now, let's learn how this pizzeria used a direct mail campaign to attract 27 new customers per month for less than $200, and how you can apply the same strategy to your restaurant.
In this video, we're going to cover the direct mail marketing strategy that has been driving a restaurant I know over 20 new customers every month like clockwork for the past 5 years. The best part about this strategy is that it costs less than $200 per month for those 24 new customers per month that restaurant is getting. That means that they're spending less than $10 per customer to acquire them in a way that they're almost guaranteed to become regulars because of the way they're targeting them. When I first heard of restaurants spending money doing direct mail, I didn't think it was going to work very well because direct mail has been around since the 1800s. So the idea that it would still be an effective way for restaurants to get new customers hundreds of years later felt wrong to me. I'd seen a few restaurants try it and not really see good results. So I wrote it off as not being a good idea for years. But I could not have been more wrong. And I realized that I was wrong when Scott Anthony told me how he was making it work. Scott is the brilliant owner of Punxsutawney Pizza in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And when he started in the restaurant world 29 years ago, he was really excited to be in the pizza business because he felt that nobody in his town was doing pizza right. And he was right about that. He took over a failing pizza place and started crushing it from the very beginning, nailing his recipe, learning everything he could about restaurant operations, and executing well. But then he saw the competitive landscape get way more competitive over the years. Because in his town, Punxsutawney, which only has a population of 5,700 people, 3 major pizza franchises opened up. And in addition, over 10 different independent pizzerias opened up. So 12 new pizza places opened in a town of less than 6,000 people. And his market became 4 times more competitive than the national average for pizzerias. Pizzerias are already pretty competitive on average. So he was in this very scary position because there was so much competition for so few customers. So it was no longer enough for him to just be amazing at providing great pizza. He also needed to become amazing at marketing as an operator. So he tried all sorts of different things, and eventually he invented this brilliant strategy that, like I mentioned earlier, is driving him over 20 new customers every month like clockwork by using direct mail. And over the years, it's gotten him over 500 new customers that have actually become regulars and driven him hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales for less than $10,000 in total cost. The results he is seeing are epic, to say the least. They've led him to being a top performer in the pizza community, increasing his sales by over 600% since he took over the pizza place in his town. And he is now, 20 years later, a multi-award-winning operator and leader in the pizza world. He was gracious enough to share this strategy with us because he's super passionate about helping the broader pizza community as a way of giving back. So if you're interested in asking him questions about this strategy or having him help you execute a similar strategy, he's also a marketing consultant to lots of pizzerias, and you can find him at pizzamarketing.com. He's great. Anyway, here's how his strategy works without further ado. What Scott Anthony does is he partners with a direct mail company called Moving Targets, and they pull a list every month of everybody that's moved into his zip codes around his pizzeria. Then he filters the list a few different ways to make sure that the people that he sends mail to are the best fits of people with the highest likelihood of becoming regulars. What I mean by that is he first filters for people that moved into his town from a zip code outside of town to make sure it wasn't just people that were changing addresses within town. That way, he could make sure that they didn't already have a go-to pizza place because they, by definition of moving from out of town, are new to town, so they won't have go-to restaurants. Then the second filter he uses is he looks for families rather than single people because they have a higher check size and they tend to order for the whole family. They also have a higher income on average. That's the third filter he uses, a minimum household income of over $50,000 to make sure they are the type of people who can regularly afford to order his premium premium pizza rather than the people who just go for the cheapest option, which will always be Domino's or similar concepts. And then after having his direct mail company filter the marketing lists with those requirements, he sends all of those new people moving into his community, those families, a personalized letter that arrives less than 3 weeks after they move in. That letter welcomes them to the community and then gives them an offer that is too good to resist. At the top of the letter, it says, "Welcome to the neighborhood," and it has pictures of his mouth-watering food. Actually, I'll just put it on screen for you here so that you can see what I mean. See guys, I'm a real YouTuber now. I can put things on screen. So you can see in this letter that it starts by addressing the customer by name and building authority, as well as a nice headline that I described earlier of "Welcome to the neighborhood." So it starts by saying, "Hello, John. I'm Scott Anthony, the owner of Punxsy Pizza, and I'd like to welcome you to the neighborhood. We've been serving traditional and gourmet Italian pizzas and specialty hoagies to our loyal friends in Punxsutawney and the surrounding area for many years. Our pizzalos have the experience and expertise to delight your taste buds. 4 times we have won Pennsylvania's Restaurant Neighborhood Award. The award celebrates and highlights the outstanding charitable service performed by restaurants." This is so perfectly executed. Scott is brilliant because he's building authority first as a top restaurant in that customer's new community before he makes his offer. Then he has an irresistible offer after he's built authority, where he says, "We hope you'll give us the opportunity to introduce ourselves and provide you with a great meal. Just use the attached gift certificate for 1 free medium pizza with unlimited toppings. All of us at Punxsy Pizza are excited for the chance to meet you." What's so brilliant about this offer is that the pizza on the menu for the medium size unlimited toppings is $17, and it has a relatively high food cost, probably around 30% of the $17 or $5 food cost. But because of the way Scott is targeting customers of only higher income families, that just moved into his town, he can be pretty sure that they're going to become regulars once they taste his food. That they're not just doing it for the deal and moving on, like those customers that we dread in the restaurant industry, but that they're really interested in becoming regulars eventually. Then his letter gives the customer more details on the restaurant, his menu, differentiators, and the most popular dishes that they have. Then he signs off with his name and he pens his signature at the bottom of the letter to make it feel more personalized to the customer. Personalization in this campaign is so key. It can't feel like it's coming from a corporation or a company if it's going to work this well. It has to feel like it's coming from a caring person who owns a business in the community of the person receiving the letter. Now let's walk through the numbers of the campaign. He sends less than 50 of these letters per month because there's less than 50 people who move into that town of Punxsutawney per month that meet his requirements. So they cost him well under $200 per month to send through Moving Targets, the mail company. I've heard great things about Moving Targets, by the way, but there's other mailing companies who can provide a similar service, like MailShark is one, or Our Town America, lots of good ones out there. Anyway, here's the crazy thing. On the letters he sends out, his redemption is over 80%. There's typically only around 30 new movers moving into his town each month, which means that of those 30, he gets around 24 of them every month, like clockwork, to redeem this offer. So let's say all in, including the service from the direct mail company, it costs him about $200 per month to send those 30 letters, and it gets him 24 new customers. That means that it costs him $8.33 on average in marketing to get each new customer. Now he does have a high food cost to factor in here as well, because he's giving away that free medium pizza with unlimited toppings. So let's say it has a 30% food cost on a $17 menu item, meaning it costs him $5 in food per customer to give away. Now that's $13.33 in total that he's spending to acquire these customers. But what's brilliant is that when he gives away the free medium pizza, these families also order other high profit margin items like appetizers, beverages, or desserts. His average check is well over $40, even on that first transaction. And the other items in the order, appetizers, beverages, and desserts, have a super low food cost and are almost pure profit margin. So he actually makes a few dollars on that first order. But the real money is made because now those people who just moved into his town love him, because he just gave them a free medium pizza to welcome them and an amazing experience. These customers weren't already loyal to another pizza place, so they then order from him a few times every month on average. Again, let's say his average check size is $40, which is actually low relative to what it is, and the average family orders twice per month. That means he makes $80 per month each, or $960 per year each, For these customers that he's buying for less than $15 all in. $15 to acquire a customer that's worth $960 per year. And by the way, regulars of pizza places typically last over a year if you have good food. Over the years that he's been using it, it's acquired him over 500 trackable regular customers, which have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in his pizzeria for less than $10,000 in total cost. It's helped make him the most popular pizzeria in town, and he gets nationally recognized regularly as being one of the top performing independent pizzeria owners in the United States. It works so well because it uses three of the most powerful ideas in marketing. The first is that it has an irresistible offer with the most powerful word in the marketing language: free. Free medium pizza. This could work for any restaurant concept, but the offer has to be irresistible, like a free entree of high value to maximize redemption rate. Second, it has personalization. It addresses the customer by name, and Scott has his signature at the bottom. It's signed Scott Anthony. It's not from Punxsy Pizza, importantly. It's from the owner, Scott. That makes it so that customers pay more attention because people love to buy from and support and connect with other people in their community, not strangers. It also has a bunch of pictures of his most popular dishes included, which we all know in restaurants is important because people love to eat with their eyes. It's an absolutely amazing strategy that any restaurant can use now to acquire new regulars for a super low cost in a way that is actually trackable down to the penny, since they have to redeem that coupon or gift certificate, and then you can track those customers' spend over time to see your marketing return on investment, say over the course of a year.